life opened up for me when I started to take accountability. Welcome to Soulfully Yours podcast, where we take a deep dive into life's most transformative journeys. I'm your host, KD, here to guide, uplift, and nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Each episode, we explore the lessons, challenges, and triumphs that shape our lives, offering insights and tools to help you grow, heal, and find your true path. Whether you're seeking encouragement, understanding, or just a soul-nourishing conversation, you're in the right place. Let's embark on this journey together. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode on Soulfully Yours, the podcast. I'm your host, KD, and I'm so grateful to be here with you. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about taking accountability for your life, what it means, how it looks in various areas of our lives, and how it can transform you. So before we get started, you already know, let's take a deep breath in. Let's exhale. Unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Relax. How are you feeling? How was your day? What's one good thing that you're grateful for about today? I'll go first. Since we're talking about accountability today in this episode, I want to say that I am extremely appreciative for my accountability partners, for the people in my life who hold me accountable to the commitment to the betterment of myself, the people who hold me accountable for my growth, for my health and fitness, for my podcast, for my cooking, for my career, professional growth, for my spiritual growth. I am very grateful for the people in my life who hold me accountable to do the things that I said I was going to do, to show up for me how I said I was going to show up, and just applying pressure when needed. It is so appreciated. I'm such a lucky girl. I'm such a lucky girl to have a support group, a support system that holds me accountable, critiques me when I need to be critiqued, stay on me when I need some extra push, and remind me of who I am, remind me of my greatness, of my gifts, and just my overall being, my overall well-being. And so I'm grateful for my accountability partners. Are you grateful for your accountability partners? Do you have great accountability partners, first of all? So what is accountability? Accountability is the willingness and obligation to take responsibilities for one's actions, decisions, and behaviors. It involves acknowledging the consequences of those actions, whether positive or negative, and being transparent about the outcomes. Accountability means being answerable to yourself and others, and it requires a commitment to self-reflection, to honesty, and continuous improvement. It's about owning your choices and their impacts without shifting the blame or making excuses, and taking proactive steps to learn and grow from your experiences. So the reason I wanted to talk about accountability today before we get started in all the other series or episodes when it comes to personal growth and healing, change, and transformation, accountability is at the foundation of your evolution, of your transformation, of your personal growth, healing, and success. So when I got tired of pretty much the same results in my life, in different areas of my life, when I got sick of me, fed up with me, being stagnant in the same place, being complacent, or I just wasn't getting the outcomes that I wanted in my life. I had to sit down, do this self-inventory of myself, and really lock in on, why is my life like this? Why do these certain things keep happening? And why is this always the outcome of certain situations and happenings, right? Now, for me, we always say the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. But I would often say, God, grant me the ability to accept the things that I cannot change. Hold me and make me accountable for the things that I can, and the common sense to know the difference. Common sense ain't so common, and common sense is not a language that everybody speaks. And so for me, I had to simplify a lot of things, because the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting different results. But when it comes to taking charge over your life, you have to take accountability for what you've done in the past, what moves you're making currently, and how they will shape your progress in the future. You have to acknowledge that, take ownership of that, and not blame any external circumstances or things outside of you. You have to really look at you and figure out, okay, what's working, what's not working, what hasn't worked in a long time, and what things should I just simply let go of. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say it's not a hard pill to swallow when you realize that you have been the root cause of your progress, of your failures, of your successes, of your wins, and of your losses. It is most definitely a hard pill to swallow, but it is something that has to be done through, doing a self-assessment and taking a self-inventory just to see where you are in the journey and how we can course correct for the future. And so that's why I wanted to talk about accountability, and how it will shape our lives, for where we are and where we're trying to go. Now, what is this self-assessment you keep talking about, KD? Like, what the hell? I got you, y'all. I got you. So, self-assessment involves you evaluating your thoughts, your mindset, right? Your behaviors, both good and bad, and the decisions allowing you to see where you're excelling and where you may be falling short. When I say doing self-inventory, I mean doing a deep dive into all the aspects of your life. It's like tracking your habits, your goals, if you have any, your values, and seeing what you value today versus, what you value when you were younger, and your patterns. Doing self-inventory helps you identify your strengths and your weaknesses and areas of growth and even unresolved issues. So when I say doing a self-assessment and taking that self-inventory to help you with accountability, it's because together they help you understand how your actions align or don't align with your values and goals. And this is like the first step, like I said, that foundation of taking accountability and responsibility. So we're in this era of everybody wants to remove any and everything that does not align with them. Anything and everything that does not align with their goals and where they're headed in life and blah, blah, blah. And to a degree, that is something that everyone should be doing, but that's not how it's being portrayed. It's this person gets toxic, so I'm letting them go. That thing is toxic, so I'm letting it go. And anything outside of me that's toxic has to go. And so you'll get to a point in your life, well, I know I did, where I thought I was doing the work. Well, I was doing the work, but everything that didn't align, or that I felt like was a distraction, or that was toxic, throwing it to the wayside. And y'all, I'm still sitting in the same damn place I was at. Okay. I began to get frustrated because, God, I did the things that I thought I was supposed to do. I cut out the people. I cut off the things. I cut off the places. I'm doing the things that's supposed to, align with where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do. And I'm still in the same damn place. And I'm getting frustrated. Okay. And so I did all of that just to sit down one day. And God talks to me so gently, y'all. It's not even funny. I was so busy removing everything around me that it didn't dawn on me that I didn't have me number one on that damn list as far as, toxic things to get rid of. Okay. And that's not saying everything in me is toxic, but it's like when you're trying to, grow into, a better woman, being better overall, or you're just trying to go or grow into spaces that, align with where you're going. You have to look at yourself and ask yourself, what about me is toxic? What attitude, what personality, what behaviors in me that is toxic? Because truth be told, where I'm going and where I'm headed, certain things about me are no longer needed. Me being defensive, or me having, an attitude, or, my mindset even. For me, it was really my mindset and how I thought about certain things. It's like, baby girl, where you're going, this attitude ain't needed. God be really trying to elevate you and elevate your life, but you still holding on to toxicity stuff with you. It ain't, and it has nothing to do with outside circumstances. It has nothing to do with people outside of you. It has everything to do with you. And when I got that, it's like oh my goodness, the accountability that comes into where you have to take ownership of, baby, I'm still where I'm at because of me. Not because of how I grew up, not because this person did that to me or that person did this to me. It's because, having a relationship with toxicity, and a very unhealthy relationship with toxicity within myself. We get so caught up in trying to throw people away that we don't even look at ourselves and see what part did we play. How we flirted with toxicity every now and again. And so where you're going in your life, bro, sis, if you're stuck and you keep wondering like, man, I done did this, I done got rid of this, I done changed this behavior, I done changed that, and you're still not going anywhere, it's time to do the self-inventory and the self-assessment and see where you are and in what ways are you holding yourself hostage, in what ways are you holding yourself back, in what ways are you contributing to, the current state of where you are. I said all that to say that's what accountability looks like. It looks like being so honest with yourself and being so vulnerable with yourself to where, okay, I can pinpoint that attitude. I can pinpoint that behavior. I know when I start to self-sabotage. I know when I get out of my routine. I know when I don't budget or when I don't, make sure my finances are straight. I know when I start slacking off with my prayers or reading my daily devotionals or meditating. I know when I stop doing these things, my life starts to look like this. And in your personal relationships with other people, how have you been toxic? How have you been the problem? How have you avoided, conversations? Have you been passive? Have you been passive aggressive and not being assertive? Because it's definitely a difference. You can assert yourself and say what you need to say without being, condescending or demeaning to your partner, you know? Or are you just, manipulative and you participate in the toxic behavior? Like really examine yourself and examine where you are and correct that. If it's with your health and fitness, have you stopped going to the gym? You don't want to pay a trainer. You don't want to eat right, but you want to look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? How can I take accountability for my health and fitness goals? Have you been avoiding going to the doctor? Not doing your yearly physical, not going to get tested, and you've been out here, I was finna say something, but making sure your sexual health is healthy as well. Like, are you taking accountability for that? Being accountable for your life, your progression, and self-mastery, I might say, means, taking full responsibility for your actions, for your decisions, and the outcomes. It involves owning every aspect of the journey from personal growth to setbacks and actively working towards becoming the best version of yourself. And what I mean by that is when it comes to accountability, I mean taking ownerships of your choices. Accountability for your life means recognizing that every decision that you make has consequences. We can't blame others or circumstances for where we are. We have to take ownership of our actions and the results, whether that be good or bad. For our progress, it means understanding that, our growth is our responsibility. It's up to us, if we improve our relationships. It's up to us if we improve our career, our health, our spiritual maintenance, if you will. And we need to, commit to the process and take consistent action. How committed are you to you? How committed are you to the betterment of you, to your growth, to your evolution, to bettering your relationships, to better finances, to better health, better overall well-being? And self-mastery, accountability is key. We are responsible for developing that discipline and having that emotional control and the skills needed to, shape our character and integrity. Mastery is something, self-mastery is not something that's handed to us. It's something that we earn through being accountable to ourselves, really. Accountability looks like recognizing where change is needed. Being accountable means honestly assessing the life, our lives and the progression. We have to admit when we're falling short and where improvement is necessary. But this requires a certain type of vulnerability and humility within us to be so honest with yourself. Again, it's a hard pill to swallow, but it takes that. It has to be that. And that doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up because you're being honest with yourself and recognizing, where you fell short or the things that you need to change. Be glad that these things need to be changed. Be glad that you're actively working to change these things rather than avoiding them. So, accountability means acknowledging the areas where you lack control or focus. Where are you not focused? Where do you lack control? Is it in your finances? Are you not focused when it comes to work or career or, self-advancement? Where do you have a lack of control? Are you emotional eating? What does that look like? Whether that be, emotional regulation. Is it in your habits, in your mental discipline? We have to take responsibility for identifying the areas and start actually working on those. Accountability requires us to take consistent action. It isn't just about recognizing where we need to grow. It's actively doing the work to achieve it. It means showing up consistently, setting goals, and following through on your commitments you make to yourself and others. Shout out to my grandma, Lucy Beatrice Oliver Hardaway. May she rest in peace. I love my grandma, okay? She used to say all the time as a kid, your word is your bond. And as a kid, I didn't understand that at all. But now as an adult, I know what she means when she says your word is your bond. It means to keep your commitment to yourself or to other people. It means, show up how you said you was going to show up. Do the things that you said you were going to do. And if you can't do them, communicate when you can't do the things that you said you could do. Your follow through and with people and with yourself is very important. So how do you keep your word with yourself? How do you keep that commitment to yourself and to your growth? So it's about practicing daily habits that lead to improvement, whether that's through meditation, learning, or physical training, or any other things that will help you improve. We are ultimately accountable for maintaining these habits, even when the motivation is low, baby, okay? Accountability looks like accepting the consequences and learning from them. When we are accountable for our lives, we accept the consequences of our actions without excuses. If things don't go as planned, we have to analyze, what went wrong, what went right, and make the adjustments rather than placing blame on other people. It means, understanding that every failure or setback is a learning opportunity. And instead of avoiding responsibility or accountability, we see these things or lessons as experiences that will guide us towards improvement. Can you think about something that you went after, whether that was starting a business or doing something new or different, and it didn't go right or it didn't go as planned? And now, since you're older or you're a little bit more seasoned, you can look back at that and say, this taught me that, or I learned this lesson from this situation, or this business venture, then, it wasn't quite successful, but I know what to do next time when I do start that business. Or I need to seek another trainer, or this diet doesn't work for me, or this church isn't for me, or, what is it? Because that's how we learn. It's how we learn what works for us and what doesn't. The thing that I love, though, about accountability, it is like you feel empowered to take control of your life. Once you really realize and tap in with yourself that you have the power and you make the decision in your mind to change, grow, and master yourself, you move from this place of like victimhood mentality to empowerment. Accountability becomes the foundation of your self-discipline, and you understand that external factors do not define you, but your choices and your actions do. I love the fact that when you get to a place in your life where accountability helps us with our continuous, growth. It's a continuous process. We have to reflect on those actions and our behaviors. We have to make sure that they align with our values and goals. And the reflection leads to, the progression of, self-mastery in a sense when we're talking about accountability. But how do we cultivate self-accountability? It's a mindset shift. Everything starts in the mind. We have to understand that we are in control of our actions, our decisions, and the direction of our life. No one else is going to take responsibility for our success or even our failures. We have to stop blaming others or external circumstances for where we are in life. And again, some things may be out of our control, but how we respond to them It's always within our control. I say that again. Sometimes things may be out of our control, okay? However, how we respond to them is always within our control. We have to set clear goals and priorities. Define what it is that you want. Set SMART goals. Now, if you've been in school before, you know they always use that terminology. Your goals have to be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time oriented. You have to focus on what truly matters to you. Being accountable means not wasting time on distractions or things that don't align with your values or objectives. So, what's a distraction? Who's a distraction, dare I say? And maybe how are you distracting yourself, in a sense? It's not always other people. How do you sometimes get off course, How do you trigger you? Or how do you self-sabotage, Like, really understand, what's the distractions? Scrolling on Instagram for hours and hours when you should be either reading or working out or meal prepping or working on a budget plan or reading your Bible, spending time with God. Like, what other ways could you be spending your time, and how can you be accountable for not wasting your time on stuff that has no value? We have to track our progress, regularly check in with yourself and ask yourself, are you making progress towards your goal? What's working? What's not working? And use the tools, y'all. Like, our phones, baby, there's an app for everything, okay? There's an app for productivity, an app for drinking water, an app for timely, activities or getting things done within a certain time. You have apps for budgeting. You have apps for, reading, self-help, self-improvement. You have apps for meditation, journal. Like, use your phone, bro. Sis, baby, we pay so much money for these phones. And these apps are galore. If that's what you need to help you be more accountable for your progress, your growth, your transformation, use them apps and don't be ashamed of it, honey. Hold yourself to a high standard. Integrity is everything when it comes to accountability. Do what you say you will do, even when no one is watching, okay? This builds self-trust and it strengthens your discipline. You have to follow through. Just like a jump shot, free throw, you follow through, okay? It's the follow through. Avoid excuses. If you commit to something, make sure you follow through. Self-accountability is about honoring your own commitments just as you would for somebody else, okay? So honor your commitment to yourself. Honor the commitment to being better to you. Honor the commitment that you have with you to not give up on you, to not give up on your dreams, to not give up on your goals, to follow up with the plans that you have made. God will grant you the desires of your heart. But how are you willing to meet God in the middle of that? You can't pray to God for, a better situation or want to better your situation when you don't want to move your feet, when you don't want to do the work that's required of you to get to where you want to go. That's a part of being accountable, okay? That's a part of building your accountability. You have to own your mistakes and learn from them. No excuses. Excuses are the tools for the weak and incompetent. Who knows that? But no excuses. If something goes wrong, don't shift the blame. Accept responsibility for your actions and their consequences, okay? We have to learn and adjust all the time. Life is about learning and adjusting and adapting all the time. Mistakes are inevitable, okay? But growth comes from learning. from your mistakes, from the lessons. Okay. Reflect on what went right, what went wrong, and adjust your approach. Okay. Take daily action. Consistency. Okay. Accountability is built through daily action. Consistent effort, even in small doses, leads to long-term progress. Shout out to the trainers, okay, that say this all the time, because consistent effort in small doses leads to long-term progress. We want stuff overnight, baby. I changed my behavior yesterday, and today I wake up and I think, everything's supposed to fall in my hand. No, this is not overnight oats, baby. Over time, putting in the work, taking accountability in small doses leads to big changes, big progress. But we have to stay committed, okay? Stay committed to you. Motivation may fluctuate. It will fluctuate. There is not a maybe. It will. But accountability means showing up even when you don't feel like it, okay? Remember what I said? Small, consistent steps over time leads to big results, significant results, okay? Accountability helps us develop that self-discipline. Like I said, we have to maybe get used to delayed gratification. I know our generation wants instant gratification, or we're used to instant gratification, but now that I'm older and I understand that work must be put in, I'm okay with playing the long game, okay? I'm okay with delayed gratification. So over time, accountability does make you appreciate kind of the delayed gratification, because you get to work through the things that you need to work through at a pace that you set. But again, over time, it leads to those results that you want. So we have to develop a routine and structure, and accountability makes us do this, because we have to create habits that support our goals. If the goal is to lose weight, baby, we got to be in the gym and have a trainer, or follow some type of gym routine. And at this point, it's enough gym routines that are free, online. There's so many meal plans. Like, hey, we got to create the habits that support the goal, whether that's getting up early to have time to get to the gym and do what we need to do, or budgeting, or like whatever it is. Okay, we have to create habits that set us up for success. Seek feedback and reflect, okay? Get honest feedback, y'all. Don't go to your yes man, okay? Or your yes woman. No one can hold you accountable for your entire life, but you can still seek feedback from trusted people. And honest feedback helps us identify our blind spots and our areas for growth. And this could be trusted friends, family members, therapists, your group, whoever in your life that is here for the betterment of you, okay? And don't take it personal. Just one of them days. Don't take it personal. If you want the very best for yourself, you have to be okay with people telling you about yourself. Constructive criticism is where it's at. Having people that are willing to be honest with you and not lie to you, to me, is a love language, okay? Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth, okay? I'm not going to always get it right. I know I'm not going to always be right, but having somebody that is honest enough with you to tell you the truth, whether it hurts your feelings or not, to me, is somebody that loves me. Because you want to see me be better. You want what's best for me. And sometimes that comes from people that we love telling us the truth about ourselves. And it's up to us to hold ourselves accountable for that. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm not going to go down the other road. I mean, people in your life who really love you and really want what's best for you. will tell you the truth. Okay? You have to accept that. Hold yourself accountable for that. And adjust. And I'll just give you a story, right? My mama loved me. Everybody loved me. It's hard not to love KD. It just is. Because once you know me, you know me. It's so hard not to love me. But my friends, my family, cousins, all of the people, right, would say like, which was somewhat of, I would say now, it's my blessing, it's my gift and my curse, you know what I'm saying? Caring so much for people, being there for everybody and everything and all of the things. But I had nothing left for me. My friends would be like, bro, you too nice. You too nice, because I would have been, did XYZ. I would have been cut such and such off. I would have been said, And for me, it's like, I know what certain things feel like. I know what that pain feel like. I know what that hurt feel like. So if I can help them, then, I could help them maybe avoid said thing, avoid said pain, avoid whatever. And I would give, and not have shit for myself. Nothing left for myself. And when you hear that over and over again, you're like, no, I just, that's just me. That's just my personality. Man, please listen. Let me tell you, I didn't have shit left for myself. Nothing. My friends were right. My mom was right. People in my life that love me were right. Okay. I gave, give. Didn't have nothing left for myself. And I had to just take responsibility for that, because that was my fault. There was nobody's fault but my own. And I don't blame my heart for, me being genuine, me being a loving person. I just blame it on, a lack of boundaries. Okay. Make sure you come back in the next episode where we're going to talk about battling boundaries. Okay. But that was the truth. You love me enough to tell me, hey, you be there too much. You be in this person's crutch. Or if someone tells you, hey, your attitude is the reason why you don't have certain things in your life, listen to that person. If they say, yo, you not as disciplined or whatever, that's what it is. If they say you being careless with your money, wasting your money. If they say you are maybe not taking care of yourself, gaining a little weight, if they say you have been slipping on, your commitments and showing up for events and things that you said you would, but haven't, like, listen to people who are telling you things about yourself so you can course correct them and take accountability for them, fix them so it can benefit you in the long run. Having people in your life that hold you accountable and having accountability, it breeds, to me, this sense of keeping you intentional with your intentions. Like, I want this growth because I need it for the betterment of myself. I need to be better with my finances so I can be financially, free to do what I want to do. I need to be healthy and intentional about getting healthy. So in the long run, when I age, when I get older, baby, like fine wine, like fine china. Yes. I look good. I feel good. I dress good. All of the things. I am intentionally holding myself accountable for my appearance. I'm intentionally and holding myself accountable for, the decisions that I make in choosing a partner, and in my family dynamics, I'm holding myself accountable for the role that I play as a daughter, as a sister, as a cousin, me wanting to be married. How am I already holding myself accountable for, just the type of wife I want to be? On some real, like, your accountability and being held accountable for whatever it is in life that you want, it makes you hone in on your intentions, whether that be with people, things, materialistic wise. What are your intentions with this thing, and why is accountability so important in you being intentional and paying attention to those things? So that's another reason why getting that feedback is so important, because it keeps you intentional. Accountability is not about perfection. It's about being honest. Now, who would we be if we didn't celebrate, the work we've done by holding ourselves accountable and things like that? So I just want to say that part of accountability is recognizing your successes, no matter how small. Celebrating wins motivates you to keep going. Reward yourself. When you reach a milestone, give yourself a reward. Again, let me say that when you reach a milestone, give yourself a reward. It reinforces positive behavior and makes you more likely to stay accountable. Don't do premature celebrate. Okay? When you've reached a milestone, after you finish a fitness challenge, after you've reached a certain number of subscribers, after you've read certain books, after you've went to certain workshops, after you have fixed certain relationships, dynamics in your, after you've reached a milestone, then we celebrate. Sometimes we get to celebrate too early, we lose focus, and we stop doing what we're supposed to do. Another way to cultivate, accountability is build accountability systems. Whether it's a daily planner, a to-do list, a habit tracker, find a system that's going to keep you organized and focused. Find an accountability partner. Even though you are ultimately responsible for yourself, having someone check in on your progress, like a friend, a mentor, or a coach, a spiritual advisor, or a financial advisor, can help keep you on track. So in your life, what areas do you need to take accountability for? And what steps could you take to ensure that you are taking accountability? So for example, in your relationships, could you improve your trust, the respect, and the communication, whether that's family dynamic, romantic relationships, friendships, business friendships, or relationships? When it comes to your family dynamic, do you take accountability for the role that you play in your family? Do you need to show up more emotionally? Do you need to offer support? Or do you just need to address unresolved issues, have those tough conversations that you've been avoiding? When it comes to your health, are you going to the doctor for your checkups? Are you in the gym? Do you have a trainer? Are you watching what you're eating, what you're consuming? Or do you just keep planning on going to the gym? You keep planning to make the doctor's appointments. You keep planning to start a new diet. This is all a part of, seeing where you are, assessing where you are, and taking accountability. When it comes to your spiritual health, are you reading your Bible or inspirational devotionals in the morning? Are you going to church? And if church is not your thing, but you still have a relationship with God, what does that look like? How do you care and foster and nurture that relationship? Are you practicing meditation? Are you journaling? What are the things that you're doing to feed your spiritual health? Or are you neglecting it? Are you not taking time out in the morning to pray, to meditate? Are you not going to church if that's your thing? What are you doing? Where are you in this area? And how can you take accountability for where you are and get back on track to either where you want to be? And if you're already there, how do you want to improve on your spiritual health? How do you want to improve your relationship with God, or improve those practices and prayers and petitions that you are making? With your finances, baby, where are we? Are you budgeting? Are we spending money like we got it, to spend? Where are you with your spending habits? Are we robbing Peter to pay Paul here? Or are we making moves to get an accountant or get on a budgeting system and seeing where we are so we can save money and do better? Are we paying down these debts? Okay. Are we paying down the credit cards? Because my student loans, that's above me now. I'm kidding. But how are we looking into our finances and taking accountability and taking control really of that? When it comes to the personal relationship with yourself, how are you holding yourself accountable for doing the things that you said you was going to do, for changing, for adapting, for adjusting, and making the corrections that you need to make to get your life on track, on how you want to live, on the way that you desire your life to be? How are you checking in with your mental? How are you talking to yourself? How is that personal relationship with yourself? Are you cultivating a loving relationship with yourself that empowers you and holds you accountable to show up for you? How are you in that area? We all need to work on certain things about us and also hold ourselves accountable at the same time to get to where we see ourselves going. Remember, accountability is about progress and not perfection. So let's get into the reflection questions for this podcast episode. Question number 1. In what area of your life are you currently avoiding accountability? Question number 2. How has avoiding accountability held you back in the past? Question number 3. What is one small step you can take today to begin holding yourself accountable in your relationships, in your finances, or health? Question number 4. How will your life improve once you consistently practice accountability? The book recommendation for this podcast episode about accountability is The Power of Accountability, the Missing Link to Success. Thank you for journey. Oh, that's Memphis Mello gonna kill me for that one. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. Remember, accountability is the key to unlocking the life you desire. Until next time, take care, stay accountable, and always, this is Soulfully Yours podcast. Katie signing out. Thank you for joining me on this journey of growth and discovery. I hope today's episode fed your soul and gave you something to reflect on. Remember, your path to healing and transformation is uniquely yours, and every step forward is a step worth celebrating. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it, leave a review, and connect with me on social media. Until next time, remember to take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. I love you. Bye.